Well, we've just created a report, and now we're wanting us to go and edit a report called rip change. That's what the report looks like at the moment, and they're going to ask us to make some changes. So I'm going to go into the design view, and we're going to make some changes to this report. Okay, let's see what they want. There's quite a few things they want us to do. They're all pretty small. Add your name in place of the page numbering at the bottom of the page. Okay, well, we're going to have a look at it at the bottom. There's a page footer. So they don't want the page numbers to be in here. They want my name, and my name tonight is, my name is Adam Kane. Okay, watch out for this one though, because if you go into design view, it comes up and says enter Adam Kane. What's going on? Okay, what's going on is that we have used a text box instead of a label. Okay, so we can change it to a label. Make sure, otherwise we're just going to put a new label on there. And I didn't like Adam Kane as a name, so my name is now James Bond. James Bond. Okay, James Bond. Okay, and that'll appear at the bottom of each page. There's all James Bond at the bottom of the page. That's fine. And that was not too painful. Insert the picture cat in the header of the report. Oh, not another cat. Okay, insert picture. There's the cat. Okay, if it doesn't go into the right place, just drag it up. There it is up there. So there's the cat in the report. Okay. I was going to take it out because it's taking up some space on my screen. I'm going to move this up rather. Did you get the idea? I'll shift my report footer up a little bit here as well. There's some stuff that I don't want to do just now. It's going to get in the way. I'll move the toolbox down here. Okay. Insert a field to show the current date in the report header as well as the picture cat. Okay, so I've taken the picture out. I didn't kill the cat, I just moved it. If we need to put a formula in of any sort, it goes in a text box. Okay, put it in. I don't want the time or the date. I can't remember. Current date in the report. In fact, it's actually down there in the page footer already, so you could actually go and copy it from there. But it's equal to now, and that's the date. Now at the top. Okay, 10:42 p.m. and you could format it if you wanted to show a particular date or time format or whatever you wanted to do. So if you wanted it to be just YYY-MM-DD, you would type it in there, and there's your formatted date at the top. Okay, that wasn't. Remember, the most important thing is that this is a text box, not a label. Labels are where text appears. In other words, like surname and name and James Bond that we added earlier. This is a text box because we wanted to put in a field. Place the data for the surname field in red. Okay, if we look at the data, there's two things. There's the surname, there's the header for the surname, and here's the data under detail. And this must be in red. And if I go and look at my report, all the surnames will now be in red. If I wanted to put the label in a different color or fill it, I could just go and, so in other words, that's the labels up there for the headers on the top of each page. Okay, so you can see the difference between the two, the ones for the data and the ones for in the detail section, and the other one is the label. I didn't ask you to do that, I just did it so you could see. Add a function. Add a function with a suitable to show the average amount paid in by all the riders listed in blah and form. Okay, so they want the average paid in and no currency format, no decimals, Okay. We're going to see in the next question where grouping comes in, is that it depends on what you want to do as to where you put your functions. Okay, this one they want the average of all the riders. Okay, and the average amount they paid. So I'm going to put it in the bottom of the report, in the report footer. Remember, the report footer occurs at the end of your report. Okay, and it's the average paid in. I'm just going to call it AVG. Average paid in. It's popular, I suppose. Average paid in. make it meaningful. And here I'll go and put my calculation or my formula in. Okay, unfortunately, average in Access is AVG. I open my round brackets. You don't need to put the spaces in. I'm just using to emphasize what field do I want to use. I want to use paid in. Again, make sure you get the spacing right, if there is spacing, or if it's an underscore or it's something else. Okay. We can go and do the properties. We can make sure that it's a currency and that there are no decimal places. At the moment it's auto. I don't want any. And I can go and have a look at the bottom of the report. Okay, there's the average paid in is 66 Rand. Okay, it occurs at the bottom of the report because it's showing everybody's amounts that they've paid in. Okay, and again, it was in a text box because I was doing a calculation. That's the label that comes with the text box. That's what I'm putting the text in. Amend the report to show the records of the in the report to list the records of the males and the female riders separately. Okay, so I want the males and the females separately. Okay, well, if you look at our report at the moment, you can see there's males and females all mixed up. We want to separate the males and the females. Okay, so I need to group. Okay, in other words, I want to put them in groups. So you can, depending on the situation, you might be grouping by city, in which case they're placed in cities. You might be grouping by gender, like we're doing here, or you might be grouping by class, or whatever it happens to be. Here we're going to group by gender. Where do we go? We go up here to sorting and grouping. Okay, if you're sorting and grouping, near the top of the screen, alongside your toolbox little icon, click on it. It's going to bring the dialog box across here. Okay, I want to group by gender. Okay, that's sorting it now at the moment. Okay, how do I group it? You must add the group header or the group footer. Okay, I generally put the group footer in. Doesn't really matter whether you put it, unless they specifically say I normally do the footer, but you can have a group header. Let's see what it's actually done by doing that. You can see all the females are together now, and following that will be all the males, etc., etc. Okay, so we've managed to do the grouping together, and you'll see that there's now a gender footer. In other words, after the gender, after each group of gender, and there are just two in this case, males and females, we have a gap where you can put in a formula, which I'm sure they're about to tell us to do. Add a function with a suitable label to show the number of female riders and the number of it should be male and female riders. Okay, it should be female, okay, male or female riders. Okay, but that's fine. Now I want to do a count function, and I'm going to put it in the wrong place to start off with. Okay, I'm going to put in a text box, and I'm going to put it down here, and I want to know how many people there are. Now the formulas are all pretty much the same except AVG and count, which is like what I've chosen as two. The others are min, max. Okay, min, max, and sum, so they're quite easy. Okay, but if I want to count how many records there are in the report, I can just say equals count, and in square brackets the name of a field like name, or if you want to do a shortcut for this, you can just say count star. Okay, and the spaces aren't necessary. I'm just putting them in to show you that they are there. Okay, and I'm going to say riders. Oops, there's it. Put in your num riders. Okay, and let's go have a look at our report now. I'm going to go right to the end again. Okay, and it's telling us that 500 riders in this thing, but it's not giving us the males and females separately. That's giving us the total number of riders in this report. Okay, that's why I say it's important where you put your function. Now, if you take this exact same function, and you go and put it in the gender footer, okay, exact same function, I'll put it in the gender footer. I'm just going to highlight it in a different color just to prove that it is a different one. It will occur in a different place. Okay, make it come up in yellow. So the other one's still at the bottom. In other words, formulas at the bottom of the report are for all the records in the report. Formulas in the group footer are per group. You don't have to specify a different one. It's automatically added for each group that there is. So let's go and have a look, and let's see if we can get to the end of the females. There should be a total here somewhere when we finally get there. There we go. number of riders 241. In fact, if we go to the end of the report, we've got the number, that's the number of male riders, and there's some dude that's not too sure, so you put an N obviously, well, it's obviously just a typing error. And it would be a nice thing, a way of picking up the number of errors there are, because you can see how many different groups there are. And that's the total number of riders in the report. Okay, so always ask yourself, where must this function go? Do I need to group? In this case, yes, we have to show the males and females separately, so we zap the function into the group footer. So I want all the records, like for example the average of all the riders down on the podium, I would put it in the report footer, and it was right at the end of the document or the report.